So that, but you have to for my hours that like when a school day might be run up market and run up and which might be typical is that the possibility that I would be one of them. So that's the payment trend in White House that run up White House family and not the neighborhood problem. And that run up White House definitely not short expected like 11 realizing the truth about black 11 having taken out black the other concept of black that that realization of black that will affecting 11 so much that from then still change to that happen in 11 solely by 11 spending their dealing with like hopper might be one thing that like no definitely being unable to that hoping that that experience change in like the case of that 11 happened to that 11 staying with like hopper might be one thing that like might definitely be unable to that hoping for project the demand of competence is that right now for medium of that land running into that the parallel version of that has been complex parallel price around that. The band of young native of the collect that might be like the source survival that way human finishing to that parallel version of that magic in like the band for that. The interaction with some like that finding out about that the proven information proven information actually like how like the parallel will about the component so they are not friendly to that like the parallel in like the field might have been similar to that the real world and might have not been stuff or that might have not have all of that markers and points starting stage might have been like the initial case that we not very so like that parallel world as well as how it turned out into ended up being like the parallel world and expert of the lab that proven previous lab she was an extent of that a major flow to that how that the parallel might have ended up the way it is important that along these lines of so that interaction with like the parallel version of like Nancy that Nancy has to really getting to a certain extent of that possible idea as to like how it might have so through that interaction is also like maybe of the network of the scenario that up to and not getting so that definitely my particular interest right now yeah that maybe right now at that might be easy try to that the bridge of that Nancy approach. So needed to prove that is that fighting the exactly like how in like the past was the case was for like 11 slash by injury where like really good that tracks 11 down to be like the most element of like the barrel was being for the with that by going to back of paper maybe that being like case as in like steel case as well especially when to that every move that Nancy into happening right now in the parable that I'm explaining that it might be all getting tracked by Vietnam. To the extreme, where it might feel like the dose at present that we may happen. When we are going to make maybe it might have been Vietnam, like that might have more back on the that like motion as once that Vietnam might have realized that like that approximate due to that chief that by essentially that Vietnam can hopefully track like the movements of like Steven and Jim also. And then when that might have been at that point of realization, it might have been like itself that might have all back all the back like Moses. Might have been what might have happened with the on the ring. Okay, so that we must go to so right now for like the doing of like Nancy running into that the battle version of like Nancy. While they will exactly while they will be looking for like the like as the parallel version of Black Knight is that parallel version of is that they need an artist that I'm going to and I'm so looking for like the parallel version of Nancy to that most likely having a gap on that the real world Nancy that is not that I'm looking for like the parallel version of Nancy's gap being way more similar to gap that Nancy gap the real world Nancy gap like the not that of the and so that company might be references right now for like environment that goes to like make it towards that even to more like to be sent to like the case of like some like now like yet like at that point of like for taking just stand to definitely take advantage of the situation to like escape the like no government and go but instead to that that is like the most of basically take out to ensure to like take out that will take out like the monster and only after taking out like the monster that like opportunity trying to like escape one person did along the lines of that the stance that I'm referring that at that point like with that actually struggle once like goes or like more about it. Once like one moment will be making it towards like over at that point like over to the like for moment. Let's say it's an art that I'm going at that point like moment will be taking that over like really training slang with an art that I'm going to speak. Then like I'm different like over that lead usually like for the succeeding is like those that the over right now the thing to the take out that monster actually. So and so on just remember and getting back an outside of the like scenario that I'm going to so like Papa things will be taking out like the restaurant or recording the dark that going up to the gate and opening the gate and at that point is when I was trying that according to that Papa and plan with that Papa might be heading to that government before might be to that for government to like strike exactly when that point is like that way. The right number thing needed for that long after that Papa taking out like the like the dark last entering opening the case to like take out open but like at that point with that format writing and basically that way that bring down the garment like that way that pop up and not a government that at that point that escaping that person like so it's like the scenario that I'm sure of remember today. So that's the field of prevention right now. That would might be like the giant shadow monster that might be the cause behind like some legal fluctuation that the man got into human brain. So simply I would bring that might be used underground tunnel like about we could create a sort of like popular to go through that to a great extent for that something like basically that underground upside down tunnel like pathway that of the bring that such pathways might get to thing like the barrel world as well. Is that name as can form like the shadow shadow most of the that underground as well might be the case the name as the so definitely it might be the case with that something that most likely that now but when we through steam pipe work that basically with that so much of the contain within that it might be contained within like the pipe of that steel that when that when that might easily try the steel nearing the flame of can and definitely that they like might shout given the all of already for like the jet shadow of the to that for after that might be like the base the lunar premise. So like this might be the reason for that currently the subject exactly at that the location where that the journey of that and that's yet and also on both times especially that might be due to the underground movement of like the jet shadow of the underneath that might be like the root in the thread. So that's definitely my condition right now that like because my down and down to just like louder to that 19 unrecognized that might have been like the case and which might have been what like I might have found certainly not to remember that download like a system that Joseph might have more inspired from that Justin and Susie song that like that level might have done its own version of that a song which they might have been planning to that swing to that maximum once that the current situation of that current maximum situation is like over like at that point for like Lucas to you the level of the like 19 and like sing that song to matching like the end of the lines that might be a plan to being a creators that that in that letter like I'm having also that song. So like all the letter like I might have found under like that might have been or might have been creating. So that actually might be the person that actually on with the believe that that when I might probably aware of that 11 and might be then afraid of that 11 might be doubly aware of that 11 like about having to like design gate at that comment level even that the dance around the full of that prevent that basically about all the flag but I might be doubly aware of and that I might be uh, even afraid of that 11 might be the only person that but I might be even afraid of the make the brilliant definitely so that definitely might have been ability to that 11 having due to like 11 stars like the plans of like Vietnam like the which might have been trying to execute through that the shadow of the plan like programming the class wording like the past like to due to like all that plans that basically that sorry due to like 11 and powers like in the past like definitely it might be due to that reason that like Vietnam might have created that then it had like giving like the lowest lane supplement the primitive so that to like hide the game from that so that like in order that way like element won't find out about that game and so that's actually my looking right now that like now more might be 11 and 11 is definitely my uh, and definitely but now my good very different to that point 11 like since like 11% has 11 pockets like on the different definitely right now might be sadly feeling uneasy about like not being able to like know like exactly about like element of like Vietnam might be feeling that basically that Vietnam like what might be Vietnam like past experience like Vietnam of like being up to like take over like the real world where like the parallel like uh about my potential like Vietnam might be seeing 11 as like the sole and only obstacle in that Vietnam from to that take over like the real world might so like band what the main take over like the real world might be along the next like Vietnam might be seeing things as little credit. So certainly Vietnam might be the person might be certainly unaware of that like having been lost of power might be the case, but you know, certainly since 11 is not and like hoping that Vietnam might be through targeting black states around that 11 states that Vietnam might what Vietnam might be delivering that might be should have find 11 certainly are the so that yeah, by targeting things uh, around like 11 states that Vietnam might be that targeting them and going through that now memory to see if there now memory that Vecna can locate that information about that levels like somewhere about might be for like when the current tables supplement to find it when I put it down 11 might be like stuff now might be a straight for stuff you much again. So like that here might be so again that here towards like 11 might be strings or like my network might use the basically the string and left creating hence might be the reason for like creating like the case and like the relate to that access the trade that like 11 if 11 finds out that that will be it's like not create the data where like 11 might want to get find out and that way does it and there are friends that they are like towards like 11 that like maybe can certain users so that then that now might be the right looking for like 11 to find 11 and like that now even to the person might be now make part of that then putting that we might the police is that we were in that thing that since well matching the same the music like might have been able to access that matches that now memory then might have been that today the film on that so that because of that I know that recognizing the 2% might be unaware of that element where might be like that so it's definitely so like my mission really understand why you know that right now so right now might be able to like some in for like the nature of this might be that's the basis for that to the comments that right now might be able to like some for like like any place might be like a case of the certainly in order for the students for an individual specific individual right might need that specific individual name or that specific individual for might be like a case of the definitely Wagner might known to aware of that the names of any of that level different except for the around the left in the past had been taken out of electric control of that the might blood. So definitely Wagner might have search for the when known being able to like find and that way Wagner might have been located and Wagner might have remembered Bill's name. I think the Wagner might have searched for when and but might have got one more considered because of that will help when not doing a found that person. So like through will but might have I guess that so that fine 11 but like might have not even been able to that fine could be that might have been more data and since for the mention like but now might not know that some like remaining front of that 11 like but now might have only been able to send that and might have been able to that randomly search through that randomly to this or platform might have been hoping that eventually but now would be running into one of that 11 different or like 11 eventually by something to do that the random individual or might be along the lines what can might have hope and might have been what like that might have been at that time by doing the things that we were today. Yes, and the minimum everything right now is that customer theory might be wrong and it might be not scenario where like element maybe contact with like the chemicals and that might have set up with like genius like open the things but like in actually it might have been a scenario where like it might have been element like anything or able that might have opened up like the game to next bad one might have been one of the elements that we need so that at least my computer and that and it might be solely the like elements like memories being foggy and lowering like escape from black elements like finding memory that might be the reason for like elements they are doing that and it might be an assumption of that element might be the case of name reason that like it was like through like the contact with like the work at that like element that was in the relation and actually might since that was like a pattern might have been when back when like elements had taken out the entirety of that the remaining plus something of that run up excess of carry that it might be proved it might have been proved and it's still be itself that wide ranging theoretically from that of that 11 that might have externally and scientifically made it that taken out that the remaining subject of that might have been the case of minimum and that might have been that extreme and that theoretically work might have been what might have opened up the space to the password opened up some other game and that was that might have been that just that one hit attack and the full might be that the case of the consider it might have been using that maybe element during the experiment of that from of that in the experience in like the water like that while acting the last words of that 11 has been encountered that certain and like it might be that memory that memory that like the skills might be upstream it might be from that memory that like learn might have assumed that it might have been proven that 11 contacting the important that like 11 and like which opens the mother case that economic lab and might have told to like the film and might get all of them that happened might have been what might have actually happened like that the movie is definitely remember everything like that that it might be due to that element not realizing that through this fundamental might do that realizes that through that is of element that the fundamental framework might be that so taken that so that that we want that things that it's going to be to market gain at that of which opens up it opened up that time and space to slash element using element selected can about add-on for able to that close strategy can get so they would like to take it for sort of that computer method and that might have been program that dedicated phone dedicated for add-on that add-on might have actually might have opened like some other date if the beginning might have been one might have happened with the microphone might be the realization of that proof that might allow element to that regain back that element that found as sort of right feature that picture mean as this might be what left on the and Owens might be really trying to that might be that form memory that like as to like how exactly it all began to exactly the amount of game the truth as to like how exactly the event had like opened like the other game uh, that memory of that realizing that might be that will be and the form memory that as well as that one might be the trading for like element to remember and that way and that's like a scenario that everything relevant usually you're remembering that and then that one is definitely again back like power through or the meaning like the scenario that have to go with it. Still to remind represent that land right now might have been that the twin I think it is brother from that picture uh I think it is but not any the real might have been that positive number one subject of that so in might have been working at that method all the way back in that might be the people so I think it was part of that experiment showing might have ended up getting trapped in like the parallel and that he might have also like he might have sort of taken or by like and controlled by like the and turned into like the like monster from like the parallel might have been one kind of happened so that and that's when that he might have had like the also to like the stick so similar to that of cancer channel so that way like he might have like forcefully made controlled and made like really commit that crime and at that point he might have done to might have what might have happened that he might have like might be through lab Vietnam like and upon looking that for back then and like might even might be able to then begin back with that and it might be through Vietnam that telekinesis power stand Vietnam might have been part of that kind of experiment or like that legal will come up very quickly that it might be using that telekinesis power which like might have reawakened strong in that reason person it might be through that telekinesis powers of Vietnam and Vietnam might have opened up like the case and like levels make might be like the actual case of the case that the cost to link that and the program was on that. But we mentioned right now that like it might not just be due to that the Samoa can connect 11 through the downward back in like question path but 11 was like going through that run of like one experiment. But like even more than that like that as well as like the Samoa can like person the day that shows the time like 11 has like opened up like some of the page that this might be due to like this much memory that like 11 might have assumed that would have that it was like through 11 contact in the Nova and that basically 11 was able to open up like the game. In that case, it might have been 11 solely without any of land on like the Nova and like solely through 11's land even what might have been attempting because it might have taken out the remaining subjects that like it might have been 11 single handed a scenario where like 11 chip handling might have accidentally opened up especially to some other data to that the parallel world in that it might have been one of the patterns that we are trying. Also, not the very important that like production theory might be not given and that now might be that the actual leader of like the all the movement in like the password and like even like the dance shadow that might be like all from Vietnam and might be Vietnam subordinate and maybe how that right now might now given survive all the way back from 1950 to the present because that amount of grand vision like right now might now long all of the black power all the way back in like 1950 and still like the shadow manga might have been taken orders from Vietnam because like Vietnam might have even that then might have proven to be far stronger than back all the way back in 1950 to be far stronger than in the lecture and shadow manga might have been like the game that so that like example like Vietnam those in I don't remember and might have lost track of that then might be to see that shadow manga might have knowing for the order of that some of the question might have been this and that and might have been like the case especially on pen. So like especially on the right now that and like 1950 that's the race for it's like the bad word it might have been around 90 might have been like the race which is that might be how that the time becomes much in this might have existed which might exist between like the rainbow and bad word might be like the days in the middle of the so then in like the parallel world like a footprint that what might have happened might have been that year that number one the subject of the real world random who might have been that related in the development okay you might have got or telling first game might have been partly like the transport and they are like I'm bring like the thought in like the fan world back then like I'm bring like the fan world might have been almost exactly like the real world yet like but like the person as well might have been like but like there might have been like the bad world and everything and people like the bad world and everything might have been something on the like the bad so in like the bad world might have found like the behavior of that of that target being product of technical the transfer is um, so pieces in like the backward and like they might have uh, captured info like quite like a so like at that point that we might have tried to like escape from that it's like attempt to like escape like and not telling it might have happened and luckily at that point that second category those might have go like from like the backward that assignment to dark side to that over where that might have been that the shadow of the ten shadow of the might have been and all the lines of the ten shadow of the might have been like that way that second telekinesis was might have been way smaller and that might also predict like the gift of the man going in swallowed by darkness. And that sky turning dark and everything might have happened and like the shadow might have straight away that they entered into that the guy shadow so that we entered into like the band there and might have quickly branded a mind of steel in that the only like the parallel and from this rapidly that point among the wines might have with this front or throughout like the value might have been what might have happened in the effect. So the spreading and with like that approach down atmosphere like different like the wines might have run like a way great space than in like the real world in the newer principle. At least the ones might have really taken over like the bad one might have been what actually might have been what might have happened. So right, and all this might have happened around 1980 or like 83 when that is the bad one where it might have been close to that a year before like let's say like 1915 that the real one might have been the case. Definitely that way that in the case of and let the difference in two gender difference which might have existed even back then between like the real world and bad world like in the case of let the bad world run up and like the bad version of run up like experimental subjects like the number one that's what it in like the real world assessment might have been like like identified product but like in like the bad world that in like the bad version of run up like number one subject might have been like not to create like identified product but like the actual material might have been like the case of human training. The actual bad version of the material might have been the case of human training. So yeah, like all like the parallels and one up and like the parallels and one up like that's like the most of might have failed in like the experiment and like the parallels experiment might have been the case of human training. That way that what like the point of the parallel might have which is taken over like the bad world like the wine made of from like the perfect example and might have turned them all into the bad versions of them all into them and might have been what might have happened and that it might have been like the bad version of 11 who might have sort of turned into like a and might have been like the example and that and like the step of uh, made contact with like first trying to communicate with like 11 in like the dark world then the communicate with like the real world 11 in like the dark world in like about the experience and the reality like for the moment anything like the bad version of the way as well as like the bad version of like the identity for the function that we left when all might have either taken out like might have turned into that kind of or might have been I don't know, I think the like the bad world might have been more than so like it might have been like the identity in the memory it might have been like the identity in around of that the real world which might have usually was part of that due to that the real world and might have around what else so might have been brought in the transfer. And it might have been another in just while percentage like the transfer, which might have and that way like while getting trapped into like the bad world, so might have gone from like 1950 in like the state world to 1983 in like the bad world. Might have been what might have happened is something on the trend. So yeah, right. I'm thinking that that secondary chemicals might have caused like the transport to get turned into like the amount of like parable. Might have been what many and like there might have been an image that between like the giant shell in the uh, and like the same identity product of like the real world might have been like the given frame. So there that badminton intermediate selected by Jordan. And that battle after that is selected for might have been so extremely powerful battle and that he might have even fought for Lancer against Salamanca. Yet like I'm keeping that even though he might have been about to name the of like the generation of super like and then build up again have to like the generation of might have managed to that to get like the points to that chance of like the that which I between production like that way like the stamina might they have been managed to that uh with that current might have been like the case yeah like the stamina might have at that point seen nothing as like the value of that to like the stamina so like the stamina might have give a lot of like put in a lot of the stamina for it to like into and takes the decision to like not just transfer like that to be just to like another type of organ like everybody else, but to transform it into secure way better like a transform secure like a transformation to that individual that can make most of like the powers that all the intelligence and all that individual. So like that way I can make that share that might have given that state of transformation into like that to do the alone. And that might have been how that from the identification transform that they might have been like thing that might have that they actually ended up getting on some page with might have been more kind of having to like that way on the remission like the password might have been consumed by the others and like some of the might have been the password. Around 1983 when the password might have been close to like around 1950 like the area might have been actually gained the so that way according to the program which I have to go to the thing right now like Steve defined that for this year both of course it was like a pattern version of Nancy hiding with like a pattern word Nancy home is like feeling the scenario that I'm still right now. Is that the doing of brain and right so that where the man should have definitely take that the main next the moment like gets to the front of change that now and the monster would be appearing in the scenario that I'm doing. So then at that point is like comment straight away shouting out to them sorry guys to like open the gate of that enclosure like kind of like space so that like how could like only escape from the conundrum like moving out of the so like that way like the remaining guns like opening the gate and at that point like all the remaining prisoners like in that and both are like straight away running along with like in the straight away running and escaping is like looking out that I'm so like at that point pop up initially Popper as well from the different that running a bit stepping a bit running towards like the game out of the game zone, but like Popper at that point stopping of the sectors now and so like at that point Enzo and Foreman at that point and Joyce also like shouting out like Popper asking telling shouting out the Popper asking of as to like what is going and like at that point, like almost only stopping and walk back towards left and facing like the monster section out of that episode. So like at that point, I'm not insurance will like only lot of us like shouting out like hopper on for a face way like the out of that episode. So like at that point, I'm not looking like hopper shouting out that song. Still when that is going to like definitely take out like for example like the monster like the scenario that I've got so like at that point, I'm looking for to be and so at that point, still. Thing that like like only crazy and like so like around my friends said that will happen and like it's only about to leave that and go to that into turning back and looking back and like all by himself like struggling again like just like another that episode so like at that point like and so totally still out of the check and bond which might have find out already informed with that that putting taking that extreme risk and basically starting to that not being able to like be yeah behind it like was narrow kind of doing that way and go from there turning back to then go short and basically and go trying to then help or somehow think that bad like in like the number of like that I'm supposed to so like at that point by then I'm probably bringing over taking help an extent of that single rate like that I'm so like at that point like and so I'm over with that as the teamwork when finding that turns out like the most of right next thing is shop choice as well as like my domain who would mostly keeping like the member like that or say like situation that will be what famous like that was large shot in that sitting like over and so and the games like the number like would now that I'm good. So like in that battle usually ending up with like someone figuring out and so and like that phrase happening with the laptop with which laptop laptop he struggling way to like or and had to and then pop up believing that he has taken out like the most of flash personality that I'm good everything. And that only at that point then by pop up like leaving like running out of like that it was up and basically at that point like Noradom and as well as George like Noradom and while keeping like the net in that was like situation like along with like so would be running out uh, of like some basic and basically getting on to like a way to select the scenario that I'm so like more about getting the needs and everything of the guards able to post their situations that is not that I'm the point. So at that point like as they will be getting into like the car and then they will be just being like straight away all the running for like the remaining guards like uh, straight away at that point said that about to like Russia to like get off the like multiple vehicles and basically quick and safe after like for and team is like looking at the but like at that why that they will be able to do that like I'm different like just at top of and team would be dealing by the vehicle like that much will come different like from getting back on the game reflection scenario that I'm doing and like totally causing all sorts of damage and basically taking out a lot of gun at that point that scenario that so like at that point in that event situation like I'm that the guard who might have been planning on like chasing on like operating like not doing that and instead like focusing on trying to like capture and stop like the amount of it's like the snaps that are so like that situation that makes it probably possible for like sovereignty when keeping the neighbor to stick to uh, thoroughly escape out of that Russia. In like the scenario that I'm going to bring another frame, but the game different like right now, I'm different for like in the game like different like the game out of government also ensure and be like take you as well with them like now that I'm going to bring another and that way around the number of different like the major and Australian like situation like I'm different that pop up only forcing like the major to like take them to that location where like the airplane like the military like like now that I'm going to like generate that so that okay that situation like I'm different like operating taking it to another airplane and they will like do this like I'm different like them like escaping from Russia and making it back to that making it back to Latin America in like the series of like Stranger Things like that I'm slowly bringing in it. So that's the main question right now is that it is by she to that from regular to be that potential and powers to just take out platform with the position and the game from that open black might be an aligned to the point like at like 29 might out written on the card that this year might be that to be the freedom of paper. Yes, according to the government and company liability might have been like 11 might have not been able to pretty much to that follow that order and we really take out that for the subject that might have been like in that way like what might have ended happened might have been like the subject like on 11 given take of 11 so that and that really and then the like 11 might have played into them to that to know to spare up and that learn might have done perhaps would maximum to that to avoid a battle that is needed uh, to avoid turning against them, but like a friend still lack in the price might be what element might have they will and might have taken great extent of like injury the element or like element and go to the maybe for survival might have only some event that found the thing and that they might have been out like then the cases that might have been like in actuality. And that at that point, that release of like the ultimate power was like might have seen one might have also opened up like some other chain within working lab in lab testing task. Might have been one might have specifically might have been very interesting.